So this is the BMW i5 eDrive 40 sedan, and this is sort of the entry level to the i5. Cost in Spain is 76,000, and as you see, it's equipped here with extra paint and this M version that gives a different fascia. It costs only 79,000, so only 2,500 euros more than the entry-level version. It's actually quite surprising because this car is really well equipped, as you will see later on, and usually all the extras in a BMW, they're basically limited to the air you get inside, but this car comes really well equipped without having to pay a ton extra for it. Now this is the electric exam, so we're going to test 8 different categories of this car, and at the end of the video I'm going to give it a final score. That way we can compare it with other cars that we've tested here on the channel. If you want to have a look at what other cars have scored, you can do so on our website, which I will link in the description below. Back to the BMW i5. It's 5 meters and 5 centimeters long, 1.90 meter wide, and 1.56 meter tall. So it's the same as a regular BMW 5 Series, and that's because this shares the platform with the Series 5 combustion engine car. Same size, same almost exterior. It's a little bit different here on the front because it doesn't have an actual real grille. It's only got this fakey one here at the front, which actually changes because this has got the M version. Otherwise it would be sort of, instead of looking like a smile, look like a frown. It's got this beautiful pearl color, which is a really high quality paint job, as you would expect from BMW. It's got a glass roof, really nice looking exterior. Sporty and yet executive, right? As they like from BMW. It features an 81.2 kilowatt hour battery with which it can do more than 580 kilometers according to the WLTP standard. It accelerates from 0 to 106 seconds. Yes, that is not extremely fast. And it goes all the way up to 193 kilometers an hour if you keep your foot down. Now I'm not going to test that last bit, we're just going to take BMW's word for it. Now this car is rear-wheel drive, though there is also an M60 version of it that'll do 4-wheel drive and give it a lot more power. This car's got 340 horsepower to the back, with which it moves its 2.2 tons of weight around quite effortlessly, if I must say so. Now let's go test it. Let's have a go in the BMW i5 eDrive 40, because this is the electric sound and you're watching Totally Electric. Can you hear that? That sound, it's dramatic. It's like music, background that you hear whenever the car is going slowly. Part of the iconic sounds packed for this car. But I think it's a good image of how dramatic this car is. This is the BMW i5. It's the entry-level version, eDrive 40. Ah, listen to that sound. I don't want to take it back, but I have to. It's not mine. Okay, so it's time to do the range test. Yee-hee! 582 kilometers of WLTP range. That's 360 miles that this car can do in optimal conditions. Today we're doing a highway test, so we're not going to get that. But how much are we going to get? Well, certainly quite a lot. 81.2 kilowatt hours of usable battery. It's 15 degrees outside, but it's in the morning, so the temperature is going to go up. You might be watching 2 minutes of video, and I'm going to be driving all day for this. Let's reset this. We've got 96% of battery, and let's go. This car is one of the most precise speedometers I've seen recently. I'm doing 121 here. I'm officially doing 120 according to the GPS. So that's good. It has to show a little bit above, but only 1 kilometer an hour. That's perfect. Wind, by the way, it's heads on. So that is gonna consume quite a lot more energy going towards in Barcelona, where we're driving right now. But I mean, our test is going and then going back, so hopefully it evens out a bit unless the wind speed drops later on. I hope it doesn't. So as you can see, I'm not on the highway right now because I'm turning around, going back. We now have a 51% of battery left, so if I have the same efficiency coming back as going, we'll get there with just next to nothing. But I think that we will spend less energy going back than going here, because it might be slightly downhill and the wind should be in our favor. Now, the car agrees with me and says that I'll get back to the charger with 7% energy. Let's see how good this car is at predicting energy usage. I've so far done 182 kilometers. Let's see what all that means when we get back. For the full range of this car, we will have to apply math and percentages to know the exact range of this car. Well, let's do that. About 18% battery left, but I still got 45 kilometers left until I get to the charger. And the car insists that I'm going to get there with 70% battery, just as it did when I turned around. So all is good, and this still holds true. However, the car is also saying that I might want to find a charger en route. And you know what? The car's right. So let's do that, because I can do that by voice command, or there's an icon here on the screen. So just click on that and see what it does. Okay. So as you can see, it's found a DC charger, 50 kilowatt charger, en route, which is not the fastest, but honestly, between here and where I'm actually going, I think there is only that one. It's also found another one, a Tesla supercharger, but I'm not sure if that's actually en route or if that is behind me. No, that is actually en route. Oh, very well done. Great job, BMW. If you can't get to where you're going, the car will sort it out for you. In fact, I really like how this whole system works, where you just tell it to go somewhere and it tells you where to stop and charge and how much charging you're going to get at each stop. I mean, let me demonstrate this for you. I can plan a long road trip. I'm currently close to Madrid in Spain. So what if I want to go to Portugal? Let's try. Vamos a Lisboa. Okay, so here you can see what it's actually done. There's 770 kilometers to Lisbon from where I am, and I've only got a 16% battery now, so I'm obviously not going to get there. Well, it's found all the charging stops I need. It's prioritized those that are 100 kilowatts or more, and it tells me how long I have to stay at each place. This is just perfect. If I start this and actually activate this guidance, it'll also tell me how much battery I'm going to get. We're going to have at each charging stop. Yeah, so with this car, you don't need any other apps. You don't need to fiddle with the screen. You can basically do all this by voice commands as well. I have it in Spanish now, so I'm not going to sit here and bother you with talking Spanish to my car while you're watching a video in English. But just know this. The car will do routes. The car will route you through charging stations. And it'll do it really well with real-time information of how many are free and all that stuff. Good job. Good job, BMW. That's just the way we like it. Right, this is my exit. I'm just going to drive right past it because I've got 11% energy, not 7% energy. Oh, by the way, the car's slowing down by itself because it knows it's my exit, so it's, since it's programmed in here, it's slowing down. That's funny. Now, I'm not going to go there because I would arrive with 11% of energy, and I want to really test the charging speed, so I want to get there below 10%. So even though the car said we were going to get there with 7%, it's been pessimistic. We went there, we got there with 11% of battery. I guess a little bit of pessimism in your range is a lot better than a little bit of optimism, right? Okay, we're done with the range test, and we have driven a total of 354.9 kilometers. The 0.9 is very important because this car is German, so we're not just counting in full kilometers. That was barbaric, wouldn't it? It's taken us 3 hours and 9 minutes, which means that our average speed has been 111 kilometers an hour. I think that's right around 70 miles per hour. Efficiency of the car has been a 19.2 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. That is the same as, and now I have to check my notes, 309 watt hours per mile. Now we still have 10% battery left, and we left with only 96% battery, so we've got to add 14% on top of the range there to get the full highway range. If we do that and use math, then we get to a full highway range on a sunny day today with a little bit of wind of 411 kilometers, the same as 255 miles. Not bad at all, and plenty more than what I could stomach. I had to go and visit the little boy's room halfway there, because this car has got more range than my bladder. Now let's charge it and see how that goes. Here we are at the Thunder charging station. This is a Spanish operator, but they're all over Spain and many other places in Europe. We can pay by credit card or app or RFID or a whole other host of ways. It's a 360 kilowatt charger and the car can do, I believe, a little over 200. So let's plug it in and see how long time it takes us to charge another 200 kilometers, which with the range of this car would be the equivalent of 38.4 kilowatt hours. Let's do it. Remember, when you scan a QR code on a charger, always do it from within the actual app. You never know what stickers they might want to put onto these chargers, right? So we're ready, we're authorized, we just need to plug in. Right, turned green, and we're ready to go. Okay, so we've just plugged it in, and it's been plugged in for less than a minute, and check this out. 1 minute charged, 2.6 kilowatt hours already charged, and we're charging at 205 kilowatts. Let's go. Check it out. We've charged, well, after 6 minutes and 30 seconds, we had enough for another 100 kilometers. We overshot a bit, but it took 15 minutes and 30 seconds to charge the equivalent of 200 kilometers. Just 15 minutes. Quarter of an hour for another 200 kilometers. A wee, a snack, a coffee, and you're ready to go. You might not even have time for the coffee. So BMW says that this car will do 10 to 80% in half an hour, exactly 30 minutes. I actually started exactly at 10%, and I've charged now 30 minutes and I'm at 78%. I mean, I guess I can do it if, you know, temperature or the stars align just right. So 30 minutes, 10 to 80%. 15 minutes, 30 seconds, that's an absolute marvel. I mean, fantastic. Good job, BMW. But now we're gonna have the fun part. Now we're gonna drive it. There are many different driving modes here on this one. You access them by pushing a button here, and then I can either select them on screen or I could use this scroll wheel here. So I'm now going to go into sport. The first thing I notice is that the seat now hugs me tight. So I can go around a corner without falling out of my seat. Suddenly everything feels like a proper BMW in here now. So now we're ready to drive like a maniac, forget about our blinkers, go around a corner way too fast. So let's do that. Aside from my driving modes, of which there are several different ones, and I can use like gestures to select between them, I also have on my gear selector or my drive mode selector, whatever you call this thing in an electric car, I can select between D and B. B will come to a full stop when I take my foot off the accelerator, as just now, for example. But if I put it in D, I can then change the regenerative braking within the menu system from almost nothing to adaptive. Adaptive will brake more or retain more energy when I'm coming up, for example, on a roundabout. I need to slow down anyway. So it sort of adapts to the circumstances of the driving conditions around me. It's marvelous. Works really well. Now I'm in sport mode. I'm in B. I like it when it's aggressively braking when I let off the gas and when it's aggressively accelerating when I put my foot down. Now, if I don't feel that it accelerates enough, which I kind of think it does, I have a boost thing over here. I put that down and for 10 seconds, it accelerates even more. How much more? Well, let's find out, because I have with me a Draggy, a high precision GPS. So let's go find a place and check out what's the 0 to 100 in this thing. This car is rear wheel drive only, and supposedly does 0 to 100 in 6 seconds. Well, 6 seconds is incredibly slow for a high powered electric car nowadays. And honestly, just driving around, I feel like it can do better. So I'm using this. This is a Draggy, and it'll do very precise 0 to 100 measurement of this car. We're going to launch it. Find out if I'm right, if this car is faster than what BMW says. So it connects to your mobile phone. It's a magnet, so you can just put it on top of your car. There you go. And then all you have to do is go out, find a suitable space with no traffic and anything like that. Hit the boost on your car, and you've got 10 seconds to launch it. I've got, by the way, 95% battery. So let's test it. Boost. Okay, so I said that I thought it was faster than 6 seconds to 100, and I was right. You know, here's the time I got, 5.57, and it's only half a second. You can definitely tell. I thought it was going to be even faster, but maybe these iconic sounds are playing their games with me. This car is over 5 meters long, so you might be forgiven to think that it might be difficult to park or to get around a corner. However, it's got 4-wheel steering. So when I actually turn the front wheels and I'm at slow speed, the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction, giving me just that extra angle, meaning that it's easier to get into and out of tight parking spots. It's really something that you appreciate when driving this car, especially around town, because it is a big car, but with the rear wheel steering, it just makes it easier. At higher speeds, the rear wheel steering adds stability to the car as they turn slightly with the front wheels, so that instead of being twitchy on the highway, it's a little bit more settled and goes around or changes lanes without being too dramatic or surprising you too much. This car is massively complex. It's got every feature that you could possibly imagine, and quite a few you wouldn't have imagined. Now, to control all of this, we've got this center screen from where I can do pretty much anything, but not everything. I've got some extra buttons down here. I've got this iDrive selector that BMW insists on putting in their cars, though I don't know, I find them antiquated. Maybe you use them and maybe it's just me. I much prefer to use the touchscreen up there. I find it easier because this here, using this, I still have to look at the touchscreen to see what I'm actually doing. So it feels like sort of like controlling a mouse and a keyboard while looking up at screen, and actually using the screen or clicking right on the screen feels like less of a distraction than turning this scrolly wheel down there. And you do need to look a bit at the screen because there are so many applications and so many features in this, and many of them have the same design. The icons are extremely similar. They're all sort of in a blue-greenish color and have some kind of line drawing on them. Not all of them, there are a few that stand out. But for example, interior lighting and mobile connectivity, they look very similar. If I were to just while driving figure out which one to click on, I would find it quite distracting. One of the great things are the cameras we have here in the car, both interior camera. We've got one up here where I can actually see what's going on in the back seats, or I can take a photo of myself if I want to have a nice little selfie there. I've also got video that I can record of myself in here, but it even serves as a security device because this has got what they call drive recorder. It can record on the vehicle's internal memory or on a USB stick you can insert in one of the USB ports here. It can be used if somebody messes with your car. It can be used if you get into an accident. You can use it with your insurance company or the police. Very useful. You can make it record automatically if there's an accident, or you can manually tell it when to record. I also want to highlight the BMW application on your phone. It is absolutely one of the best on the market. Many of the applications are just limited to locating your vehicle and turning on interior aircon. However, this one you can control, say for example, the charging speed and change that remotely. This one, for example, you can change the charging speed remotely. You can access all sorts of controls for your car. It's very, very complete and actually on par with what you get from Tesla, which is basically the reference in mobile phone apps right now. There's also about 100 different camera views on the car. Of course, get just like normal front view, but you can actually click on different parts of the car here and see different parts of the car from outside. And if you want to, you can go into more and you can set the 3D view, and then you can click on different views and watch the cars from different angles from the outside, which is funny because there's no camera drone flying around me, so I don't know how they do this. They stitch the images together through magic, I assume. There are so many features in this car. Like, you can GPS activate the camera. You can have massaging in your seat. They can cool you down. They can heat you up. This car's got everything. It's got interior lighting hidden inside these crystals here. You have joysticks to control the aircon. I would need 4 hours just to go through all of this, and I'd probably need a month just to learn them all so I could properly convey them to you. Here's an example of something that BMW thought of that nobody else thinks about. You see this here is a cover for the moonroof if it gets too hot in here. So if I try to close it, you can see I have the camera in the way there. It hits the camera and it's like, oh, there's some resistance there. Maybe it's a child's finger. We better not close it then. These Germans, they think about absolutely everything. But if I don't want to just focus on the screen here in the center, I've also got another screen behind the steering wheel, which I can configure through a button I've got here. I can sort of set different kinds of content to show up. One of the most interesting ones is AR, which will show me the cameras in whichever direction I'm going, and it will overlay driving directions on it in graphics. Really useful when you come to one of these highly complex road crossings with the 7 different roads going off in all directions, and you're not quite sure if you need to take the 3rd or the 5th to your right. This will put an arrow exactly on the road in front of you. Really, really useful. Now, if I don't want to just use this screen here or this screen there, I've also got a heads-up display, of course. And of course, I can also change whatever I want to see up there. I can get trip information. I can get standard trip information. I can get sort of a street view up there. I can get assisted view where I can see what cars are around me and what the driver assistance features will do. I can even get this sort of a sporty wing thing coming up that'll lean over according to the G-forces that I apply to this car while going around a corner. It's just absolutely bonkers, absolutely amazing, and it's just what you need when you really, really want everything in your BMW. And hey, by the way, if you're not happy with what BMW gives you, you can also use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and you don't need to plug your phone in. Just leave it down here on the charger and it connects and everything just works. It's German, it's BMW. It does exactly what you think it would. Probably a whole lot more. You might think that with a 5-meter long car, it would be a problem parking, but fear not, the car will do it for you. So you push this little button here and then it starts looking for parking spaces all around it. Every time you hear beep beep, it's because it's found one. So let's see if we can find a suitable and difficult spot for it. Now it can park itself, it can unpark itself, and it can also record a path into a parking spot and then undo it to get out of it afterwards. It'll find parking spaces on the right, on the left. It'll park perpendicular or in line with the road. Oh, let's see if it'll find, let's see here, for example. Yes, it did. Right, we can choose which way we want to park, like that. And up on screen, it'll show you where it intends to put itself, which is good. So now I just lift my foot off the brake and let the car do the work. Notice the determination and the speed with which it parks. Don't know about you, but I wouldn't park much faster than this myself. You know, it goes quite close to the car behind us. It turns red. There you go. And then it just adjusts itself, and we're parked. Took no time at all. Really easy. We can also now undo the parking. So let's do the same. Just put a foot on the brake, let go. And then the car will sort of get you a little bit out of the spot you're in. Depending on how tight the spot it is that you're in, it'll do more or less on parking for you. Now here's all. It took us a little bit back. Not the most useful thing in the world, but sometimes it'll do a lot more. Depending on the circumstance of where you're actually driving, the system works really well. I'm especially impressed with how you can record a complex path in through a parking maybe a parking garage or something like that, and it'll just find all these places. I also get information about this up on the heads-up display, by the way. I don't need to use blinkers because I'm in a BMW, remember that. This unit is equipped with BMW's Driving Assistance Professional, which in my opinion is the best system you can buy from any brand here in Europe. It's really easy to use, it's reliable, and it gives good feedback to the user. Let me show you. First of all, it's all controlled with these 3 buttons I have over here, plus a little rocker I can move up and down to set different speeds. That means that I don't have 15 buttons I have to learn that are located in different places around the car. It's really, really easy. You get in and in about 13 seconds, you have everything understood. I can clearly see when the system is activated because I have a green steering wheel here. I also have it up on the heads-up display, so I'm I'm not sitting here thinking, is it on, is it off? Who's in control of it? Am I? It's the car. You might have heard just this doot. That's because it temporarily turned itself off. There was a car in my lane, the one that I switched into. Good. So I get auditory alert when it turns off. It can also do lane changes for me. For example, in front of me, there's a lorry with a van on top of it, it would appear, and it's going quite rather slowly. So I put on my blinkers, and it automatically changes over to the lane on the left, and then turns off the blinkers, just like it should do. Now, other cars, or some other cars, can do this as well. Here, there's one difference though. As soon as I'm halfway out of the lane, it already starts accelerating to put me at the right speed of the new lane I'm going to drive in, which means that it's much more smooth and it doesn't surprise people in the lane I'm going into. Tesla, for example, it changes lanes and then it starts slowly adapting to the speed in the new lane it's in. This here is much more gradual and much more smooth. It is also collaborative, so if there's something I want to avoid in the road ahead of me, I can sort of turn it slightly to one side, go over to the right side of the lane, or if I want to take a curve on the inside or on the outside, depending on what kind of driver I am, I can do that without the system turning off. It is also very good at detecting my hands on the steering wheel. It doesn't use torsion or force. It just detects as soon as I touch it just a little bit. I just have to caress it really, and it knows I'm here taking care of it, which is nice. So I don't have to sit here and sort of fight against when it's going around the corner, so that it knows that I'm actually still awake and looking at the windscreen. You can also set it to automatically adapt to the speed of the road. So when the speed limit changes from 120 to 100, for example, it will automatically go down in speed. Now, I have this deactivated right now because I want to go constantly at 121 according to the car to do the range test, but I could turn it on. If I did that, it would actually slow down before it came to the zone where I'd have to go at a lower speed, which is great, and that certainly avoids me getting a lot of fines, because that's where they like to put the speed traps, just after they change the speed limit, right? Overall, this is easy to use, highly reliable, feature-rich. I really like it. I think it's the best there is.
Let's score the BMW i5 eDrive 40. Traveling with an impressive range of 411 kilometers, 255 miles, and an average consumption of 19.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, the same as 309 watt hours per mile, traveling in the BMW i5 is easy. Its navigation system also helps you locate chargers efficiently. We give it 8 points in the travel category. Charging. Charging up to 200 kilometers, same as 124 miles, of range takes just 15.5 minutes thanks to its peak charging speed of 208 kilowatts. You can control charging speed, schedule it, and plan routes directly from the system. The on-screen information during charging is nearly perfect. While it lacks bidirectional charging or V12, we still give it 8 points for charging. Driving. The acceleration figures on paper don't do it justice. In real life, the BMW i5 feels incredibly refined. It has near-perfect regenerative braking, rear-wheel drive, and it's genuinely a pleasure to drive. That's why it earns 9 points in driving. Interior. Inside, the materials are exquisite. The finish are excellent, and the cabin is both comfortable and elegant. The only downside is the sedan's trunk, which offers just 490 liters, which is the same as 17.3 cubic feet, with a relatively small opening, so it gets 8 points in interior and quality. Exterior. Elegant, commanding, and unmistakably BMW. The design has it all. We give 9 points for exterior and design. Technology. The BMW i5's tech generally impressed us, especially the head-up display. The infotainment interface can feel a bit overwhelming at first, but once you learn to use it, it opens up a whole world of possibilities. And of course, having a great mobile app is a big plus. We give it 8 points in technology. Driver assistance features. BMW's driver assistance systems are among the best in the market, if not the best. They adapt to the road conditions, anticipate speed changes, and work seamlessly. The steering wheel is capacitive and responsive. Honestly, we couldn't find a flaw here. We give it 8.5 points for driver assistance. The tested version here in Spain cost 79,000 euros. That's in line with models like the Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 Plus, which starts at 74,600 euros. Both set the standard for German comfort and luxury. If you're looking for something more affordable, there would be the Volkswagen ID.7 Pro S, which is similar size, spec and range, but clearly lower comfort and quality, and cost around 58,630 euros. On the premium end, there's the Tesla Model S dual motor, but it starts at 110,000 euros, so it's completely differently priced. In the end, we give the BMW i5 5 points for price, well positioned, but it doesn't stand out too much. Final scoring. When we add everything up and apply the weightings for each category, the BMW i5 eDrive 40 gets a total of 76 points in the electro exam. To compare this with other cars we've tested, check out our website where you can also adjust the category weights to match your own preferences. There's a link below in the description.
So that is the BMW i5 eDrive 40 sedan. There are plenty of good reasons to choose this car. The range, the charging, the tech, the comfort, the sportiness. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many good things to say about this car. If you've enjoyed this video and you've reached this far, then please hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate that so we can grow our English-speaking audience. Hit like, it's free. I appreciate that too. Leave a comment down below. I enjoy them, especially if they're kind. So this is Lars from Spain. You've been watching Totally Electric. See you again soon with another review of another electric vehicle.